Hi everyone, I'm here with one of our executive directors at Experior Financial Group, Laval Dubeau. Laval is an incredible leader with our organization. He's a little tan today, just got back from vacation with his lovely family. Yeah. Laval, tell us a bit about yourself. What's your background in the industry and how you found yourself on this couch here with me today?
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Well, I've been in the industry for about 16 years. I started off part-time. I was in corporate finance. And when the tech bubble hit, I saw a lot of layoffs in the company that I was working for, and so I knew that I had to get something in my back pocket in order to prosper in life. And I always had leadership skills. I was always very entrepreneurial. And luckily, I took a chance on myself. I had a very supportive wife who said, one day my boss said the wrong thing to me. He said, we need you to come in on a Saturday to work, and she already had plans. And here I was driving home going, I got to tell my wife that I need to break those plans. And luckily, we had worked on our mindset together, and I got in the house and she basically said, get upstairs and write your resignation letter and go full time and go and make it work. And, we've always kind of known each other throughout our past. And, when this opportunity presented itself, I knew that we were going to be locking arms with the right people. So I'm really excited about what we've done in the last 3 years since I've come on board with Experior, and the sky's the limit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were 13 years with another firm and 3 years with Experior now.
Correct.
Awesome. So when you made that decision, surely it was just an easy decision. You just jumped in, right? Both feet, didn't even think about it?
No, not at all. It was, you got to do your due diligence. You have to, when making a big jump like that, when you're having success and you know that you can still have success at a prior firm, or what else is that fear of the unknown? We contemplate a little bit. We talked about the pros, we talked about the cons. One of the things that I guess people get to know me on is I always take a look at both sides of the coin. So I can be a devil's advocate, but sometimes I'll, bring something light that someone says, I never thought about it that way. So luckily, we knew you from the past. We knew your credibility. We knew your desire to win. And you know what? Myself and Frank and Mauro, we have a good partnership as well. I don't think the three of us could have done it together, because there were times when we were saying no, and then there were times we were saying yes. And we ended up making a decision that was right for us, because we just saw what we had the capability to do.
That's awesome. And less than 3 years now. Tell me a little bit about your business. How does it look today? How many licensed advisors, production, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Roughly, what are we looking at?
I think I'm at about 140 licensed advisors.
Whoa, hold on. How many?
140.
140 licensed advisors.
Yeah.
Now, prior to Experior, you were building an agency as well.
Yeah.
What was your peak there?
Probably about 25.
25, which is still commendable,
still pretty big,
but 140 licensed advisors in 3 years.
I think, and I haven't looked in a while.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And then production, would you say last year record year for you?
Absolutely.
Cash flow, premium, investments, everything?
In a couple months, I almost did, probably in about a 2-month span through my agency, I did more probably in 2 years than I did in my former company. And I wasn't big on
So in 2 months, you did like 2 years worth of volume?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And you know what? Being able to offer, again, Experior, we're trying to build a business, trying to build our distribution network. But at the end of the day, we're helping out clients. And, to be able to offer the right services to clients that are needed, like there's nothing more that I talk about right now with disability. Critical illness. And, so many people are underinsured when they have a trusted advisor talking with them about it, I couldn't do that in my past. And I felt like, who was I really servicing? You know? And so, to have clients come up and say, what do you have with your family? We need to be able to get set up that way. So I knew I was making the right decision, because I kind of felt my wings were tied. And when we came over to Experior, we were able to, fly right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So for that person right now, that new person, because even as great as you are in this business, and you've done very well in all of your years, from what I understand, in this industry, but the beginning is still tough.
Yep.
Right? It's always tough. What do you have to say to that person? What can they do right away? What are some action steps that they can take to help grow their business?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing is you have to be coachable. You have to be able to plug into your upline leader. They're the ones that have known what's worked in the past and what will work in order to be successful. But you know what? A person does have to fail. I was like that. I wanted to challenge the status quo. I was said, hey, Laval, here's what you need to do in order to have success. And I thought, well, I want to do it my way. And, luckily you have people that just will say, hey, you know what? Go and figure it out on your own, because you're going to have to make those mistakes. But I would say for a new person coming in, they're looking for the support. They're wet behind the ears. They don't know the industry. They've never really seen a sale. They don't know how a transaction works. They don't know that clients need our help the way that they need it. They come out of university and college just all in textbook. And so to have a field trainer and an executive director sit down and show them the process of that, it looks like magic. And that's really the power of what we have with Experior, is that, I don't win unless someone else wins. Yeah. And, it's that pay it forward forward model where now we're in a full-blown brokerage MGA where we can offer everything and not get it too confused with, product, but it's a solution for a client. And that's really where we can show the new people why our system is so much better. And even when we talk to other agents that have been in the industry for a while, they look at our model, and when explained properly, they say, I've been looking for something like this all my life. Yep. You guys have finally built it. And I have had more people give me a compliment like that, where their jaw's on their table and they can't believe that we've actually put it together, which is fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah. I got a question, because I am continuing to hear the same thing from all the executive director interviews I'm doing, as we're doing a whole series on this. Every single executive director is continuing to talk about helping the family and doing the right job, and the solution and the family and doing the right job, the solution, the family, doing the right job. I'm not hearing about FYC bonus. I'm not hearing about any of that stuff. And I'm serious when I ask this, because I really don't know the answer. You're the first person I'm asking, so sorry to put you on the spot here. Why is it that the typical company out there, not everyone, but typical, is about FYC bonus, FYC, what one pays better, which one's better for me and myself and I, whereas Experior, every single leader I'm talking to is talking about doing the best job for the family, helping the family. Why do you think that is, that's our total culture versus maybe others that aren't quite like that?
You just took it out of my mouth. I was going to say it's the culture that we have. It's not monkey see, monkey do, but we have leaders that have a track record here, that have done well in former companies, and we basically do what's right. I'm going to be speaking tomorrow at the gala, and my talk is doing what's right.
That's right. That's your topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I didn't make a decision to come over to Experior because of the FYC and the bonus. I wanted to be able to see, how can I help out my family? How can I help out my clients? And how can I basically be at a ground level that help build this company right from scratch? That definitely attracted me. And you can even attest, we are not even anywhere close with where we are right now. So for someone coming in and taking a look at, hey, have I ever missed it with Experior? Absolutely not. There's more opportunity out there, but again, the people that talk about FYC and bonus, we have that saying, don't let the door hit you hard enough on the way out. Right now, it's tunnel vision, and they simply just don't see that. They will hit a point in their career where they realize they may not own their book of business, they're a captive agent, or they're a slave to the company that they work with, and there's no out for them, and no valuation where they can basically pass on that book of business to their family or beneficiaries. And that's something that we show people. But you know what? I interview a lot of people during the day, and sometimes I can tell right away they just don't get it. And not that they're saying that they're a bad person. I just say, hey, you know what? Let's, thanks for the relationship. Let's keep it open. The door is always open if something ever changes. And it's funny. I've had people come back and say, you know what? Now I'm ready. Now I see what you guys are seeing, because we like to know our competitors better than them. And we say, well, here's what you're going to find at this company. Here's what you're going to find with this strategy. Here's what you're going to find with this model. And they come back and they say, how did you know all that? And we say, again, because we try to...
done our homework.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the one thing that I love about a lot of our leaders, including yourself, Laval, that we've really dissected how other operations work. A lot of it in growing the company, only because in the beginning, let's face it, we wanted to see what was better out there, right?
Absolutely.
And even with my wife and I, when we were launching Experior, we looked at everything. You name a company, I looked at it. I talked to the people. I asked them about it. If there was someone that already had Experior built, we weren't interested in building it. I wanted to join it.
Absolutely.
What we found out is no one had ever built it. No one had ever built it the way that we felt was best for the advisors, the clients, and everything else, and the team builders, as well as the producers, because you've got to have a good fit for everybody if you want to have that retention in your business.
And it's funny that you say that, because when Frank and Morrow and I, when we were taking a look at breaking off and doing our own thing, when we had met with Jamie, we had some discussions, stuff like that. We wanted to go and reinvent the old wheel. We wanted to go and do it ourselves. And we found ourselves going, well, if Jamie and Leanne have already done this, why would we go and try to have to do it? And like from the beginning, I said, are you the real Jamie, or are you the clone that's here? Because Frank and I are smart guys, and Morrow, the three of us together, but we sat there, the three of us, going, how did Jamie and Leanne do this? And so, we challenge other advisors out there that, cross their arms and say, well, that's good for you guys, but I want to go out and build my own. And we challenge them as well. We can say, great, don't let the door hit you hard enough on the way out, because it is tough. We don't know how you guys have done it, but knowing what I love about Experior as well is still how nimble we are. Our technology is getting better from starting off from 3 years ago from where we are now. It's just fantastic. And, I'm truly blessed to have been in that position to come in when we came in, because I know from what we've gone through, that's lifelong.
Well, you know, it's funny, Laval, because you talk about what we've done in 3 years, which has been great. We've got an amazing development team, and you know, we work hard with them every day. But when we go even a year before you came, we were still doing payroll on an Excel spreadsheet.
Yep.
I mean, so
Yep.
it's light years, you know, in
Yep.
5 years of building. Laval, I just want to give you some absolute praise right now, and everyone's going to hear this. You are a class act. You are a family man. You have never, ever sacrificed family for business. And that's one thing I've respected about you, and I've said that many times.
Yep.
And I just want you to share with the folks here, how is it possible that you can build this big organization, 140 licensed advisors around, you know, doing more volume in a month than you used to do in a year?
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that, yet still do things with your boys at ball, you know, spending time with your wife and dating her still, all that kind of, how do you do all that?
We talk about paying a price, and I paid the price to get to a certain level where I was in my past. And that was able to transition over with Experior. So I look at that going, how to do the grunt work early on. I was coachable. I had other leaders around me that we all wanted to achieve that certain status. So I paid the price in some way, but you know, I look at my business and I know it can be a heck of a lot bigger. And, you know, we've always talked about that as well, as, you know, everyone here have different temperaments, talents, and convictions. And, you know, everyone can build their business different. And one thing that was important to me is, again, my boys look at me. I love coaching. I know I need to step away from it a little bit. Yep. But those are precious times. And there's a lot of symmetry that I also have, and Morrow understands this, that in this business is we coach our agents. We coach our agents to be better. It just might not be, you know, financial services or baseball or something like that. But we're lucky that I can say, here's how I've done it. And if someone in my business is struggling, I can say, well, you're making choices that either you can change to not struggle or to continue where you are. And, you know, again, I can talk about making more money, having more production, doing more investments. And not that I'm comfortable with where I am. I know that it's going to be there, but you also have to have that balance. And sometimes I criticize myself for it. We can be very, very hard on each other for us. But I think that's one thing that I truly appreciate that you've recognized, because my boys have looked at me and they've never seen me work for someone else. And luckily, again, I had a wife that said, get upstairs and write your resignation letter. You know, let's go do this. I'll support you. And they've never seen me have to say yes to someone or say I have to be at a certain time because, you know, they've seen the flexibility that we have. So that's instilling that in them as well.
You've been a business owner since they've been born.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So, you know, I am blessed that way, but I also know there's responsibility to get this thing done. Sure. And I think that's what 2019 is going to be all about as well.
2019, we're going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Laval, it's a pleasure to be in business with you.
You too, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, if you like this video or any of the other videos that I have on my channel, stay tuned. We have so many more coming, but I want to make sure that you're in the know, that you know when they're coming. So please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell.